Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I went without power right now. Well, I'm at my brother-in-law's shop. If you're noticing, like I have paint samples back here. Apparently this is like a shock. An axle. I don't really know. But hello, I'm so glad that all of you are kind of coming in, joining. If somebody will like put a comment, this is my first time going live on the phone for YouTube. So put a comment, let me know if you're like here, if you can hear me. I'm not saying anything. Do I have to push a button to comment? Let's see. Oh, there it goes. It's working. So wonderful. Hello, how are all of you doing? I just got done with my Patreon folks. We did a chat on project-based learning, and I figured I'd go ahead and stop by and say hello to all of you and hope that you are having a very wonderful Sunday. I'm so glad that you are also excited about this. Thank you. So excited to be here. I figured I'd tune in for about like 15 minutes or so. Oh, you are so sweet. I feel like my voice is going out because I've been talking quite a bit right now. So if I sound a little raspy, like I have my like man voice going, I'm so sorry. Good morning. So all of you. Wow, there's a bunch of you tuning in. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are so sweet. So if you want to ask questions, I'm going to try my very hardest to like try to see them, but they're like going so quick. Oh, you are so sweet. I hope it's going well. Student teaching. I hope it's going well. I bless your heart. I don't know. So my brother-in-law builds cars. Like he builds cars, like really nice cars. So it's a very nice seat. I don't know, to be honest. These are paint samples for cars. So I'm at his shop because we lost power at my house. So there was a big tree and it fell down and we lost power. We haven't had power for a while. I haven't showered. It's just a whole hot mess of a mess. What do I think about Daily 5? I don't do Daily 5. I'm like a mix of Daily 5 and not having Daily 5 only because Daily 5 has some great ideas as far as like in kindergarten. It was great to have the up, down because they can't sit still for the love of them. But I look at more just the reading workshop. So I don't typically love Daily 5. It's not my favorite. Hello. Can I like hold this? Oh, I can. Oh, you guys can't see me if I do that. How do I feel about substitute? Oh my gosh, substitute teachers are like the best. They are the absolute best. I am so grateful for having for substitute teachers because you know what? If I was sick and I felt like death, like thank you so much for coming in and taking care of my kids. Like I think they're fantastic. System for discipline. I go based off of talking. I just talk to my kids. I don't like to do, oh, yay, well, hey, thank you. Shout out to being a sub. Thank you for being a sub and helping us teachers out because there are some times where we are like on deathbeds and we cannot go in and do that. But as far as like me and like having behavior, like things in my classroom, I just don't typically like to do anything that requires them to like clip up, clip down. I mean, think about it, y'all. If your principal made you clip up and clip down, would you be happy about it? Like probably not. So I do a lot of discussing and we'll do a lot of problem solving, like sitting down as like me and them one-on-one for conferencing, but that's really about it. That's all I got. So I'll do a lot of calling with parents if need be. But I try to relate everything to go back to what it was that they were doing. Very much so responsive classroom. So if you haven't heard about responsive classroom, definitely go and check it out because that's kind of my flow of how I do it. How do I create my own guided reading lessons? So I don't know how I could explain that. So what I do with my curriculum is I sit down with my curriculum and then I plan out what are some things that I need to be, as far as like the standards of what it is that I'm teaching. And then for 4th grade, what I did was I broke it up into different units. And this is very Lucy Calkins, y'all. So I know that I said like when I was in kindergarten, I had a love-hate relationship with Lucy, but now Lucy, I'm all about some Lucy life. She is a genius when it comes to guided reading. So I sit down with my standards and once I'm looking at those standards, I start breaking them up into different types of units. So I have like a character unit, I have a summarizing unit, but then summarizing, when you think about it, gets broken down into different genres because summarizing is so big. The way you apply summarizing to, historical fiction will be very different from how you apply it to, realistic fiction or traditional literature, you need lots of different background knowledge. And then I just break those down. Like I break them down into learning targets, and maybe I'll do a video on something like that one day so that you guys can see how I break down learning targets, because I'm all about the learning target life. It helps to focus my teaching. It helps to focus the kids. And it works phenomenal for us, and we keep track of our data. So it's great. Learning targets, as much as what I hear some people saying that they don't like learning targets, I feel like it's very beneficial because the kids come in knowing exactly what it is that they're expected to do during that time, or to be able to accomplish, or something that they're working towards accomplishing it, because sometimes it'll take a few days before they're able to understand the skill that I'm teaching. So for those of you who are like new to my channel, or you're just timing in, you're like, who the heck is this person? Hi, I'm Bridget Spackman. I am a 4th grade teacher in Pennsylvania, and I taught for 4 years kindergarten in what is that place called? Alabama. I taught for 4 years kindergarten in Alabama. This is my first year, 4th grade in Pennsylvania. So I am in the eastern, I guess, Pennsylvania, southern eastern area of Pennsylvania. I'm not really sure. So yes, thank you all for joining me. I didn't see any other questions. I hope you guys are having a really good Sunday. It's really beautiful outside. It's cold. It was snowing this morning. Hold on, I didn't get to see that one. Oh my gosh, you have a demonstration lesson. Okay, demonstration lesson. Here's your tip. Ready? Here we go. So what I did for mine is I literally broke it down. Is I had the standard, I had the overall arching like learning target goal that they had to be able to accomplish, and then I broke it down into the scaffolded steps. So I said, here's how I'm going to show them how to do it. Here's how they're going to do it in groups, and then here's how they're going to show that they can do it independently. And then I also gave like accommodations, and then I gave what are some of those modifications down at the bottom in case I actually needed some of those. But then also make sure that you're incorporating a lot of interactive things. You know, like if you can get the kids to stand up and talk and turn and like, make maitre d'. Ooh, is one of my favorite ones. So like activities where they're getting up and moving and they're sharing ideas and they're discussing the things that you're talking about. Maybe you've read something, you said, okay, I want you to think really quick in your brain for like 1 or 2 minutes. What are the key things? What do you think is the most important information in this passage? All right, I want you to all stand up. I want you to make a table of 3, and they have to get into a group of 3 and they have to share that information. All right, now I want you to get into a table of 2. So find somebody else that you were not in a group with and have them share, so that they're using a lot of that interactive. They all want to see how are you going to get those kids moving. If you're doing a lot of the talking, they don't want to see that. I think it was 70-30. So 30% of it should be you, 70% of it should be the kids talking and engaging and moving around and doing things. Do I have a favorite memory or moment in my classroom for February? Okay, so for those of you, I haven't shared this yet, and I am going to share this next week, but on Friday, and I have the worst memory ever, so this is probably not the best one, but I have the worst memory. But on Friday, we got a new friend. I'm so excited. So I got a new little friend, and my mom helped me get this new little friend in my classroom. So during my break time, my husband was like, come and get it. I'm outside. I'm like, whoa! So I left my partner teacher just to like sit with the kids and read through the read aloud, and I ran outside and I grabbed the box and I came on in, and we were walking in, and I had this box, and they were like, oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? And I was like, you want me to open it? And they're like, yeah! So then I start to opening it, and they see, and it's a dash. So we finally got a dash for our classroom, which I'm so excited to do. But the cutest moment ever is, if you've been watching me for a little bit, then you know that I just finished reading Fish in a Tree. Oh my word, the sweetest. I like tried so hard not to cry, like at the end of Fish in a Tree. It was like so hard. But I'm reading Fish in a Tree, and we had just finished it, and the kids are like, I'm like, well, we have to name him. Like, what are we gonna name him, guys? We have to come up with how we're gonna name it. And the kids are like, Albert. And they all started like chanting, Albert, Albert. And I'm like, oh, I just look at my partner teacher, and we just like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Like, I'm so glad that they chose Albert from Fish in a Tree, because he was probably one of my favorite characters in that book, and the kids knew that I loved him. So that was probably my favorite memory. For those of you who do not know what a dash is a little robot, and it's controlled by apps like that you can get off of the iPad. I just get them off of the iPad, and you can use coding to help get him to move and do things. So I'm going to be incorporating a lot more of that coding, because I have some kids who are doing passion projects on coding. And so that's why I got him. I got him for them. So my degree, I have a bachelor's degree in elementary education. So in Alabama, I was certified to teach K-6. Here, I'm certified to teach pre-K through 4th grade. But I have to go back to school. So now I'm going back to school this in the summer for a master's in curriculum and instruction. So I'll be doing that very, very soon. It'll be interesting. Let's see how well I'm going to be able to keep up with everything. I know someone just asked that question, like, how in the world are you going to keep up with everything? Like, how do you do like YouTube? I have no idea, y'all. I have no idea how I do it all. Half the time I'm probably crying. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have to be very planned out and very organized and have everything kind of very like set up. So I try to keep schoolwork for school time. I will do other things when I get home. So thank you. I'm going to definitely need that luck on my master's, but I will try to keep a lot of what I do like for like my business side of it at home. So how do you teach your kids in kindergarten to learn and comprehend rules? So we built our rules together, and actually, to be totally honest, like I didn't even really have rules in kindergarten. Like I took the 3 rules that we had as a school, and one of them was respect your adults, respect your peers, and work hard. Those were the 3 school rules. And what we did is we just talked about them, and we talked about, well, what do those things mean? What does it mean to be respectful to, your peers? And we gave examples. But then as you're going through with behavior issues, and I was just talking with my Patreon people about this too, because this was something that we were doing in our little chat. So if you don't know, I have like a Patreon account where you can go and help support the channel, but then you also get a lot of like one-on-one with me. Depending on like the level that you support. But I was talking with Patreon people, and I said, if whenever you're talking with kids about like some of those issues, you're always wanting to relate it back to those rules and say, right now I notice that you are throwing pencils across the room. Can you tell me, are we keeping our classroom safe? Are we respecting our peers? Are we working hard right now? So you're always relating it back. Like you're constantly talking about it. So when you're using some of that reminding language and you're saying, all right, boys and girls, right now we're going to go ahead and line up. What are some ways that we can line up safely? Because this is something that we've been talking about. We want to keep our classroom safe. So what are some things that we could do to, keep our classroom safe when we're lining up? So using that language, I hope that helps you. But using a lot of that and always referring back to it. Let's see. Hello from California. Do you think you'd ever get a class pet? Probably not. I just can't do it. I can't do it. As much as I would love to, because I'm all about getting pets. Like one moment I want to have like a guinea pig, another moment I want a hamster. I will never do a reptile. I just can't. Bust their hearts. Like it's just not gonna happen. But no, probably not. I just couldn't do it. How did you know you wanted to be a teacher? I didn't. And again, I was talking with my Patreon people about this. I didn't. I did not know that I wanted to be a teacher. When I first went to school, I wanted to go in psychology. Then I wanted to be a psychiatrist. And then I wanted to go into interior design. And then from interior design, I went to business. And then from business, I finally went into teaching. Like it took me forever to figure out what it was that I wanted to be. So keep that in mind when your kids are thinking about like things that they're passionate about and what they like. They're going to constantly change their minds. I change my mind all the time on how I want to do things, and that's totally okay. It's that self-reflection piece of knowing like, oh, this isn't working for me. I don't really like this. I'm going to change it. Like that's that self-reflecting piece, and you want those kids to be able to do that and have that self-reflecting piece. Jet, I am so sorry that you were confused. I am a teacher, so I'm so sorry. How long did it take me to graduate college? So I had my first son when I was very young. I think it was like 20, 21. And I had left school. I didn't do well in school before that, so I had left school for quite a few years. And I decided to go back to school, I think when he was about like 2 or 3. And I worked 2 jobs, and I just busted my butt and I went to school. I didn't graduate until 2016. No, hello, that's 2006, right? 2006, 2007, 2012. 2012 was when I graduated. So I had my son in 2006, graduated in 2012. So it took me 5 years or so. So, let's see. Any advice for new teachers with SEND students? What does that mean? Sorry, Rose, I don't know what that means. Ooh, I'm like getting my finger all in front of the camera. Oh, what's the theme of my next classroom transformation? I can't tell you that all the way because I have kids who know I have videos. Like, they know I do videos. So some of them will be all sneaky and they will try to figure out what it is that's going to happen. But I will tell you, it's very boxy. That's all I can tell you. It's boxy. Special needs students. So I can't remember what that question was. I'm so sorry. Do you ever struggle with parents not taking you seriously? I'm 22 years old. Yes, I struggle with that my entire life. I feel like I'm a very goofy person, like in general. Like I'm very like, and I was telling like Mr. G this too, but like I am totally goofy and I'm weird and I'm silly, and I feel like sometimes it's really hard for people to look past my silliness and that goofiness and being able to say that, like, take me serious for the things that I feel like I know about. Like, and I feel like I take my time to really research and understand things, and I feel like I do a really good job of understanding and knowing how things work, but a lot of the times, like, people can't look back. Like, they can't look past how silly sometimes I can be, which sometimes I'm like, is it worth being this silly? But then again, this is who I am. Like, I mean, I'm a silly person. I'm goofy. That's just how it is. That's how my life is. Let's see. Any tips on how to pass the exam? No, I'm the worst person to ask about exams. I'm so sorry. I was stressed. I probably wanted to puke a couple of times when I had to go and take the test. Like, I had to read through the questions like a million times. Especially, like, I realized, like, when I came to... Oh, I don't know if this is like a different one or not. Anyways, but when I first got my degree in Alabama, I got it, like, it was like the practice. Like, they asked me questions about, you know, like math and science and social studies and reading and stuff, and I'm like, what in the world? And then when I came here, when I had to get my degree to get here, I had to have like it was like about education, and it was so much different. Like, it was so weird, and it was really scary. Like, I literally wanted to vomit when I first had to come and take the test to have this. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I am hoping that I'm going to go back to Power. So, will I ever go back to kindergarten? Hi, notice me. Oh, you're so sweet. You're cute. I love you. So, will I ever? I don't know. I love both grades. And I had kind of realized this. If you guys haven't seen my new blog post, I did a blog post on like my transition from kindergarten to fourth grade, and I kind of struggled. I struggled for a really long time in fourth grade, and I thought I was not meant to be a fourth grade teacher, and I said, nope, this is not for me. I need to go back to kindergarten, and I was just sad. Like, and I didn't portray a lot of that in my videos, and I just chose not to do it, but like, it was just hard. Like, I just was having a really hard transition. But if you go to like my blog, like theletteredclassroom.com, like, you'll notice I have like a chart. And, you know, teachers start up here when you first get your job because you're really excited. You got a job and you're like, yeah, I got a job. This is awesome. And then all of a sudden, as the months go and go and go and go, like, you get down here to this bottom part, and this bottom part is like November, December, January, and this is where you start to feel really cruddy, and you're like, I can't do this. Some people are wanting to give up, some people are just like so over it, and then right during this time, you start to go back up. And I said, I'm going through the first teacher syndrome. Like, that's literally what's happening to me right now. But I love both. I do. I really love both. I love being able to get to know the kids and interact with them, and being able to like talk. It's just a great experience to be able to go a little bit more in depth with them than like some of the like kindergarten, because you just can't do that in kindergarten as much as what you can do it in fourth grade. So it's great. It's phenomenal. What was my biggest challenge with kindergarten? You know what? I would say it would be for both grade levels, but that you have such a wide range of kids, because you have kids, like I would have kids coming in that would not know any English, and they couldn't even recognize their name. And then you have kids who are already reading like on a first, almost second grade reading level, and you're having to hit all these kids. But it's almost like the same thing in fourth grade, because I have kids who are really, really high, and then I have kids that are all the way down here. So it's being able to manage the times to be able to like make sure you're hitting everybody's needs. Let's see. I love getting to know my students and being able to talk with them about anything, but then I feel like they don't take me seriously when I try to tell them what to do. How do I keep a balance? Hey, I'm right there with you, but you know what? I am super firm. Like I am very, very firm with my kids, and they know when I mean business and when I mean play, and they will say that to you. Like they will say, there's a time for business and then there's a time for play. Like we have to understand the difference between both of them. And I talked to them about that. I said, you know, there are sometimes like when we go to meetings, sometimes teachers get silly with each other because we want to talk and we want to have fun, and that's totally fine. But there are moments where I do have to be serious and I have to put my foot down. So I will literally put my foot down. I'm stern. I'm not a nice person sometimes. But you know what? They need to have the best of both worlds. Can you do a video on writing strategies? My kids struggle regardless of what I do. Any ideas are appreciated. What grade do you teach? Depends on what grade you would teach as far as like writing strategies, but what I do is I take them through the writing process. For kindergarten, and it would look just a little bit different, but in fourth grade I take them through that writing process. So we start one day, it's completely with just brainstorming a topic, and then I have them go out and do that, and then there's another one that is like so from brainstorm, you have your write. So we would work on writing it, and we'd only write it, and then we would talk about revising it, but then I would give them something to revise with. So I go through the entire process with them, but I will definitely write that down and I will do a video for you. What YouTube channels do I watch? Oh, you're so funny. Okay, so as far as like education goes, I've always been subscribed to like Too Cool for Middle School, and I've always been subscribed to Tina Beitler. So I have them too, but then I have like my little love for like cheesy stuff. So I have like the Mitchellacks are on there, like Zoella's on there. Who else is on there? Bless my heart. I can't remember any of them names, but all the like the big shot people are like all on there. Like I love them. They're so cute and they're so fun. I love them. Can I do a video on how to make a TBT product? I don't know if I'm like the best person on how to make TBT products. I feel like I suck at it, to be honest, but I will definitely try to put that in there. Any tips for teaching phonics to third graders who are at a pre-K phonics level? Oh my gosh. If you have not seen my video on phonics, and the letters and sounds, like that's kind of the process that I would go through. So definitely check out that video and see if it's going to be beneficial for you. And if not, just leave a little message down there below and hopefully I'll see it and make a video for you. Okay, I'm going to do one more question and then I got to go because I have to get something to drink. I've been talking like so much. Is whole brain teaching present in your school? And then what do you think? It is not present in my school. I do like whole brain teaching, but whole brain teaching is not for me, if that makes sense. It's not something where I feel comfortable as a teacher. So I try to do whole brain teaching because I thought it was the coolest thing. And I was like, oh, they're going to do movements. They're going to like repeat things back to you. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for the way my schedule works because my schedule is so kind of odd and weird and whatever. So like, I just couldn't do it. I tried it for a little bit because if you don't follow, Elizabeth Raff on Instagram, Elizabeth Raff also lives in the area that I live in. So we kind of met up and she talked to me about her whole brain teaching, and it doesn't work for me. I am more of the project-based learning. I am more of the learning targets, planning out curriculum person versus the like whole brain teaching person. I just can't do it. Like it's just not my thing. Just can't do it. It just doesn't work for me. But definitely try it out if this is something that you're interested in. I know Elizabeth Raff has a blog that you can go and check out, and she has like a lot of information on how you can implement some of those things, and she gives you ideas of how to do it. So definitely try it out and see if it's something that works for you. Okay, so as I'm leaving, I'm going. I need to go home. Cross your fingers that I have power when I get back home. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'll try to do a little bit more of these every once in a while. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Apparently I can't talk. Thank you for watching my channel. I so appreciate every single one of you. You are all amazing, amazing people. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.